Canada time. All right, so our legal system, this is from Smoker's Guide, by the way. Solid information here, folks. In 2015, Justin Trudeau was elected Canada's new prime minister in a landslide victory. One of his campaign promises was to legalize cannabis. 2 years later, recreational cannabis still isn't officially on the books. People are still going to jail, and as a legal substance, it's not a thing. But Canadians did accomplish one thing. We proved we may be the only population in the world to take the word of a campaigning politician as truth. Why do you believe these things? At least until Trump came along. Maybe it was because medical cannabis was already legal in Canada. Maybe it's because the culture was already pretty relaxed. Maybe because Canadians were just excited to get rid of Harper. But people seem to take Trudeau's election as though cannabis laws were automatically written. At present, there are 100 plus dispensaries in the Greater Toronto area and 200 plus in the British Columbia province, with more shops and vape shops popping up every day. And as the raids in early 2017 have shown us, while weed might appear legal in Canada, we're still working out the kinks and trying to write the laws. But seriously, 100 dispensaries in the Greater Toronto area. Well, they keep getting busted, and then they reopen. And when the official plan comes together, I guess the idea is that all of those will close. No one else will care about that. And then 60 other stores will pop up covering Ontario. Not just Toronto, but Ontario. So this is completely unworkable. This is a series of lies, and we have to wonder why it is that our politicians consistently pull this kind of thing. And when you look to ancient buried histories, you understand that there are four major cons going on and have been through millennia from the ruling people. A world system, a world government, is the product of millennia of development and use. And today's users are these idiots that we see now at Queen's Park who take allegiance and swear to the Queen and pretend they're representing us, but they're representing the crown. One of the major cons, of course, is the religion technology con, where basically you got a scientific priesthood which attains power and essentially a monopolistic position to dictate what the laws of physics and chemistry are, etc. So that's why we're hearing about how terrible cannabis is, when in fact we know fucking well right that it's the opposite. And if you use it incorrectly, there's going to be some problems. Just like everything else at the hardware store, or all of the windows on the buildings that can easily be punctured and damaged by throwing something through it, and the next thing you know, there's a piece of glass cutting someone's... You see what I mean? You can make a bunch of shit and threats out of everything, but this is all about control here. Some of the consequences of this particular phenomenon include foreclosing exploration of deeper, more powerful, and more universal knowledge, as well as alternative outside-the-box ways of looking at things. And most importantly, fostering eternal dependency at the expense of people's realizing their own true nature and actualizing their own true potential. But one who is awake and empowered cannot be exploited. And therein lies one of the major reasons all of this obfuscation and lawmaking is taking so long to get into place. They're shitting their pants. That more people are going to realize these facts. And the smarter you get, the tougher you are to govern. Join me, won't you? The esoteric heart of the con is that all of the technological development and manipulation that occurs in the realm of science, including the design and engineering and manufacture of all industrial products involving scientific knowledge, basically everything made today, are accomplished by projecting into the outer world things that we, as spiritual beings, are inwardly capable of knowing, being, and doing in, by and through ourselves. Then we've also got the law con, The law government con consisting of instilling as deeply, securely, pervasively, and unquestioningly as possible the belief that men must have governments, that some people must be governed by other people. We're going to end that shit.